Okay, so that's the end of the episode.
I get that tagline.
It's like,
I have the same problem, dude.
Welcome to Bigfoot Society After Dark, Tate Hieronymus edition. But yeah, the tagline thing, it's like, I always want to say keep squatchy, but that's Bobo's. Or keep it squatchy.
Yeah.
So you can't say keep it squatchy, which is kind of I'll figure it out eventually. But
I keep saying like have a good night, but sometimes when I say that, I don't know if people listen during the day or something.
Have a good rest of your day.
So I think I'm thinking about adopting the line from Jim Carrey.
Oh, and I know what you're gonna say. Yeah,
it's on the tip of my tongue. But in case I don't see it, good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Yeah, the Truman Show.
I love it.
I'm just gonna start saying that.
All right. Before the Patreon subscribers, thank you, Doug. Oh, jeez. Sorry. Thank you, Sir Fettes, and thank you, Josh. Sir Fettes is gonna just love me for that. My bad, buddy. I don't think it matters, but you're the best. I very much appreciate my Patreon subscribers, but let's get to some stories for them. So, what is? Do you have any crazy big? Oh man, we got crazy lighting.
It's scary, spooky light.
All right, do you have?
I'm trying to find a good place to have this.
I was supposed to ask you about sleep paralysis.
Well, you can ask me now, then cut it. You can edit it in, or however you want to do it.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I'll figure that out. That's my job to figure it out.
That's why I like editing audio versus video.
Yeah,
so much easier to. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah,
it doesn't flow as well.
So yeah, if you go to your Instagram, the first thing is sleep paralysis before Bigfoot. Yeah, it's the first thing, dude. If it's like sleep paralysis, and I'm not making fun of you or anything. It's like sleep paralysis.
No. I totally get it. Yeah.
So you must have some crazy sleep paralysis. And the funny thing is, on a few of the After Dark episodes, it always comes back to this. Like,
so are you for real?
Yeah, they always bring it up. It's like, this must be a huge thing. I've never experienced it.
Dude, it's true.
Well, explain it to me again, exactly what it is you mean by sleep paralysis.
Even having it, it's hard to explain. It's like trying to explain what being on mushrooms is like if you've never been on mushrooms. I haven't. I'm just saying. It's
okay, Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. No, but
it's funny.
It's like so. Try and picture this, if you. I'm going to try and explain it the best that I can.
Okay.
Say you're having like really a hard time breathing. You're like can't get your breath.
Yeah.
And you're tied down and you can't move any part of your body, your neck. You can't turn your head or anything.
Oh, wow.
So you're having a hard time breathing. You can't move, but all you can do is look around with your eyes.
Yikes.
But you're half awake and you're also asleep. I can't remember. Yeah. It's like it has to do with something with like REM cycle when you're sleeping or whatever.
Okay.
Like
your
brain's active, but your body isn't. So your eyes might be able to see around the room. So when that happens, sometimes people might hallucinate and see things, and some others don't.
That makes sense.
So it's all because your brain's active, but your body's still asleep. That's why you can't move, and it feels like you're having trouble breathing. So
that's why. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, when I get it, I hallucinate and see things, so it's freaky. Oh, wow. But my aunt has it, and she's like, I don't see anything. I just can't move.
That's crazy.
It's scary sometimes, dude.
That would freak me out, dude. Is that so? Does it happen by itself, or is it brought on by anything? I know it's a low question.
There's things that there's things that can trigger it.
Okay.
Irregularity, whatever that word is.
Sure.
Your sleep schedule can have a thing to do with it. Okay. If your sleep schedule is off, if you're up late and up really late or go to bed early one night, it's just you gotta have a good sleep schedule. That can trigger it.
Okay, gotcha.
Sleeping on your back, fly on your back can trigger it.
Really?
Yeah, I was looking this up because like, what are triggers of it? Sugar before bed, alcohol before bed, and all those things factored in as like the perfect concoction of just sleep paralysis if you're prone to them, which I am. So, but there's ways around it. There's no medication for it. You could take sleeping pills to help you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the key for anybody who has it, who wants to not have them.
Okay.
Learn to sleep on your sides or your stomach.
Ah, interesting.
Because it doesn't have, I've never had it.
Wow.
The only time I have it when I'm flat on my back.
Okay.
So I sleep on my sides and stomach
cool.
a lot. And I don't get them. So.
All right. Well, that clears that up.
There's a way around that. And to that guy's question, I have not had, what was it?
Yeah.
Let
me look
an
it
elk
up.
or something?
No, it was sorry, I gotta look it up real quick. It was something weird. It was oh, an elf or rake.
No, I have never had that.
You haven't had that, okay?
Nope.
Well, now he knows, or I'll make sure he knows. So, do you have any creepy stories or amazing Bigfoot stories, or Bigfoot stories in general that you could share? How about that?
So I mean, creepy is a loose term. It depends on the listener who to decide. But I mean, it was creepy to me. So my very first possible Bigfoot encounter was in the Bluff Creek region in Northern California. Me and my dad and a couple friend of ours were camping up there, a place called Louse Camp.
Okay.
And we get there, it's like maybe 12 o'clock at night, 1 in the morning. We got our tent set up and everything. I'll admit, I've admitted on my podcast before, and I'll admit here, I'm not a big fan of the dark. I feel uneasy not knowing what's out there. Even with a gun or a thermal camera, it's still creepy. I don't care who you are. So I thought I heard a whoop up the road. I was like freaking out already. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so I just calmed down and we went to bed. And I just couldn't sleep that night. I just, my mind was going. I was like, what the heck did I hear, earlier on? And so I was kind of like laying down and looking, and something walked up from where the creek was, and it was a shadow, and the shadow was skinny. And it got to kind of in the middle of the side of the tent.
Yeah.
Where I was looking on the side of the tent, so it was in the middle of the side. And that shadow went from skinny to wide.
Oh, no way.
And it stood there and went back to skinny and walked and went back the same way.
So it was thinking about messing with you, and it didn't.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know, man. Oof.
The shadows don't go the same way and go back to, they don't go one way and go back the same way.
No. Wow.
Moonlight wouldn't do that. Moonlight goes one way, almost like the sun goes around. So that freaked me out. I had my phone recording audio all night. I got some possible audio of a wood knock.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But it's like really faint. It's behind the white noise of the creek, so
yeah,
you have to really listen to it to hear it. But there was something at our tent that night.
Yeah.
What it was, I have no idea. But talk about your first time being in a place you've never been, and it's dark, so you don't even know what it looks like. That's creepy to me.
Because remind me, so how hard is it to get to Louse Camp? How about that?
It's actually not as hard as one would think.
Really? Okay.
I mean, most of the way it is paved, and then
interesting.
About a couple miles of it isn't. So, but if you contact the Bluff Creek project on our Instagram or Facebook, we can give you directions to get out there.
Oh, cool.
and the gates are open a couple times out of the year.
Oh, wow.
Because there's something with the trees. I can't remember. They close the gates because there's something with the trees. Like when people drive their cars out through it, it kills a lot of foliage and stuff.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
they close the gates around. They open the gates around June and close them around October. So a
That's good to know.
couple months out of the year, you can access Bluff Creek and Louse Camp and get up in there and stuff. So those are the prime times to go if anybody wants to go up there.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to be trespassing to get to it, or you know, I don't know if going around the gate would be breaking the law or whatever. What is it? Is it a public land or like a state park or?
It's public land. Like you
Yeah.
don't you don't pay anybody to camp out there. It's totally free.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, if you really wanted in the wintertime, you could take a snowmobile out there, or if you had like a off-road dirt bike, you could get a dirt bike out there if the gates are closed. You just have to park your car, or if you just took a bike, you can get out there pretty easy. But you just can't get a car if the gates are closed. It wouldn't happen.
That's a cool story, man.
Unless you broke the gate. But
yeah,
I do not advise that.
Don't break the gate.
No, don't do it. Stupid train. I love Des Moines. But...
Oh, you got that sweet downtown train. Oh my goodness, have you ever been stuck behind that thing?
No,
not fun.
Thankfully.
Not fun. So that was a cool story. So that's really the main big encounter that you have so far then.
Actually, I think the best one that I ever had was the thermal video that I
got. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that would definitely be the highlight. Yep.
That was probably God damn train. Gotta love the ambiance that I choose for a background. But no, that thermal video. That's in an undisclosed location.
Mm-hmm.
In California, Southern California. I went with a buddy of mine who's actually skeptical too. I didn't know this.
Oh, wow.
And that was the same time I met Matt. So it was the day that I met Matt. It was later on in the day before everybody left. I was like, hey, Matt, where should we go? He's like, just take this to the end of the road and there's a place where you can park and stuff. So me and my buddy, we drove out there. We were hanging out. We were going to camp up there. And it was really funny. We get the tent. It's like a little 3-person tent, so it's easy to set up. We get there, and it's all set up and everything. And I'm like, dude, I'm just kind of getting weirded out. He's like, oh, you're just kind of just wearing yourself out, psyching
Matt
yourself
is saying
out.
That to you?
No, Matt left. This is my buddy who was with me later on.
Oh, your buddy.
He was like, you're just psyching yourself out, don't worry. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So we're just sitting in the back of my truck eating some like chips and salsa and drinking some beer.
Love it. Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, dude, let's just go try some stuff and see what happens. So literally maybe like a minute walk down the trail from our car.
Yeah.
There's this dead tree. So I do a knock, didn't carry, the sound didn't travel. So I do another one thinking I could do it better, but I didn't, and it didn't go the sound didn't travel that far again.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'll just try a whoop. So I did a whoop. And then kind of waited. Me and my friend were kind of just whispering, talking to each other. And like maybe 30 seconds later, I heard a return whoop back to me. I was like, dude, wait, I thought I heard something.
Really?
Yeah. So he's like, I didn't hear anything. He was like, dude, I swear to God, I heard something over that way. So we backtracked up this trail because there was another fork in the trail where it kind of went up the hill just a little bit. So we went up that to get to look at the area where I heard it better.
Mm-hmm.
And we were seeing like some eye shine or a light or something. And we're like, dude, what the heck is that?
Whoa.
And we both had headlamps on, which was kind of a bad idea, but we did it anyway. We had headlamps on, so we were seeing eye shine. We thought initially it was 50 feet away because the eye shine was so big.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started recording on my FLIR camera.
Okay.
And I was looking, so I was like new to FLIRs at the time. So if anybody has never used a FLIR, they're kind of tricky because it looks like things will be moving on it, but they're really not.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I haven't used one before, so that's good to know.
So I would say get used to them.
Okay.
Once you know kind of what you're doing, it's easier. But I didn't. I just probably had this was my first time actually using it, and I couldn't see it, but my friend said it was still there, and so maybe like halfway into the video, I took the FLIR down. I was pointing it down,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was looking, and I could see it because our headlamps were shining on it still, and we could see the eyes shine. Then I pull it back up. I'm still trying to like find it, filtering through the different settings of the, I guess, what do you want to call it, filters, so you could see like red hot or white hot, black hot.
Right. Yeah.
And I couldn't see it still.
Hmm.
And then my friend was like, "Dude, it's gone. It's gone."
Hmm.
And so I was like, "Okay, I'll just trust him." So we walked back to the car. We were fast walking, but that initial when we first initially saw it, he's like, "Dude, Tate, what is that?"
Yeah. That's awesome.
I was like having a panic attack, and I was excited at the same time.
Oh, weird.
It
Yeah.
was I thought I was gonna have a heart attack from all the adrenaline, but
Yeah, I bet.
I am alive and well today, as you can see and hear.
Definitely.
But it's so funny because I asked him, and he doesn't believe in Bigfoot. But at the same time, if you ask him, he says, "I can't tell you what I saw, but I don't know what it
Okay.
was either."
So he's there. Yeah. He's like, so he agrees
He,
that something happened.
but he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He's not gonna say it's Bigfoot because he doesn't
Mm.
believe it. But he doesn't know what it was. Because we actually went back there the next day, and we were trying to do a recreation the best we can.
Okay.
And the day, and we figured out it wasn't 50 feet away; it was 300 feet away.
Oh, and how? Okay, so that's interesting. So how did you figure that out?
So we just did a really bad estimation with
Okay.
a tape measure we had.
Mm.
I didn't have like one of those like laser tape measure things you can just point it and
Right.
it tells you.
Right.
So we kind of did that, and it was about 300 feet. And also, I have a FLIR Scout TK,
Oh.
and the range of those is like 300 feet or 300 yards, give or take. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Something
That's
like that.
interesting.
It was close enough where we could see it when I looked at the video later, but it was far enough where it wasn't damning of anything.
Okay.
But it was
That's cool.
something there that was different. It wasn't any other animal that I saw. And on either side of where our car was parked, it was a pretty steep ridge, and nobody
Oh.
would be walking past us. Not to mention there was a
Hmm.
bunch of hunters out that day, and who would prank a hunter or a possible hunter with guns?
I mean, you wouldn't think that people would do that, right?
Unless they're like tripping or something. I mean, we are in California, but
That's
I
true.
figured they'd have a little more. But people's eyes don't shine like that.
I think that's your best point is that taking into consideration the how the shine was and what would
Yeah.
do that type of shine.
And
Yep.
if you watch the video at the beginning, you can kind of see like a little dot, and that's the head of it. And at the end of the video, that little head stands straight up.
Oh, really?
Bears don't do that. Bears won't crouch down and stand up like that, like after 2 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Deers wouldn't do that.
Hmm.
Maybe a mountain lion, but I still doubt it because it was vertical. It was vertical, not like
Okay.
horizontal. So
Wow.
I'm pretty confident in saying that was a Bigfoot, but at the same time, I'm not going to be disappointed if I was proven wrong on it either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to accept that it might not be.
Right. Which is, I think that's just a good quality to have in life, with anything.
Yeah,
You're open to accept feedback.
you're open to failure, which I
Yeah,
don't
that's how
mind.
you learn. That's how you learn, and get
Makes
better.
you a
But
better researcher that way and everything.
yep, but I'm excited to see that. I think you said we're gonna pass on that video. That's gonna be exciting to see that.
Yeah, it's super cool video.
It's not public though, right?
It's not public, no.
Okay, gotcha.
So It's about 2 minutes of
Okay.
thermal video, but that's about it.
So it will
Oh,
not
sorry,
be in
go
the
ahead.
Patreon is what you're asking me to not put it
Yeah,
like
it won't be
just me look at it, right? Yeah.
just you. I think I'm gonna try and go
I
out to
respect that.
California. Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna try and go out to California maybe in October, September, and some friends of mine might do a recreation of it,
Oh,
do
cool.
more in depth. And I think if that goes well, then I might release it so they can see it and everything, get a better idea of where it's at and what it looks like and stuff like that.
You know what might be cool is when you have that book. It's the book is out through the Bluff Creek project, right?
Yeah,
If maybe release it around the same time to kind of get, I don't know, but you know, it's a cool thing to have in your back pocket no matter what. Like at the end of the day, that's amazing to have that, kind of card in your back pocket. It's cool.
I still trip out over it. I was like, no way that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
Did
that
not
is cool,
expect
man.
that. But hey, it did. Oh, but that's
Man.
the other thing. Okay, so get this.
Okay.
Everybody knows who Bob Gimlin is. He was.
Nah. I'm just kidding. I know.
He
Yeah.
was wait, who's that? So Bob Gimlin was with Roger Pat. For those who don't know, I'm just going to explain.
Yeah. Let's say I think that. Well,
I would say it's safe
it's
to
good. It's
assume.
good to explain. Go ahead and
So
explain
yeah,
the summary.
I'm just going to explain it anyway. For
Yeah.
those who don't know, Bob Gimlin was with Roger Patterson
Mm-hmm.
that very famous day on October 20th, 1967, when Roger Patterson filmed the most controversial Bigfoot footage of all time.
Totally.
Roger Patterson was the man holding the camera, and Bob Gimlin was the eyewitness to that day.
Mm-hmm.
So Roger Patterson died a few years later. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was something like somewhere in the 71 or 72 maybe.
Okay.
But Bob Gimlin is still alive.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's still kicking stronger than ever.
Yeah.
But I find this funny. Bob Gimlin is from Missouri.
Is he really?
And yeah, and this is what's funny
No
too.
way.
I find this funny. I'm from Missouri.
Oh wow, yeah, totally.
And the other connection is it's weird. I'm involved with the Bluff Creek Project, who's involved working on the Patterson Gimlin film site. But the other thing that's funny is Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin knew that Bob Hieronymus claimed to wear a costume in the film. And my last name being Hieronymus is very
Okay.
notorious
Yeah.
in the Bigfoot
Yep.
community.
So that is really funny. So that's why you have to every time be like, I'm not related to the guy. Don't punch me in the face.
I think now that my name has gotten out there, more people kind of know who I am. They like, okay, there's no relation. But at first, I'd get it all the time, man.
Oh, I bet.
Are you related to Bob Hieronymus? Like, I'm not related to him at all. No.
There's no way that's a costume too.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I mean,
it looks too real, dude. The way that if you look just on the leg muscles are crazy.
Yeah. There's no way, man. Even okay, like what the film was filmed in '67, like a year or not too long before the Planet of the Apes came out.
Yeah.
I mean, and Planet of the Apes won an award for best makeup and costume, and they had a lot of money. Roger Patterson, I mean, I'm sure he had money, but I don't know if he had the skill set or stuff to do something like that. And if he did, that's the best costume ever made in '67.
Yeah, it's nuts.
52 years and they still can't replicate that suit.
So crazy, dude. So
to
crazy.
prove it's fake. So it's still the most debated Bigfoot film ever out there.
Oh, by far.
Easily.
By far.
But it's cool to be a part of that project, so that's a lot of fun.
It is. I'll definitely be watching you guys closer from here on out. So thank you. But
dude,
hey, that was pretty solid. Thank you for sharing those stories. I think that was a good After Dark episode for my supporters. But thanks again for approaching me to to come on the podcast. That was really fun. Best of travels down to Florida. You said you're leaving soon in the next few months.
September 1st, give or take.
Oh, dude, that's right around the corner. So
I hate it. I had to go to
Good
El
luck.
Bait Shop. That's my favorite place to eat downtown. So it's like, I gotta go there, man.
yeah, good luck in Florida. Be safe.
If any of your fans are here in Des Moines, go check that out downtown.
Oh yeah, if you're in Des Moines and you've never been to El Bait Shop, shame on you. First off, but it is a good place. It's a good place.
No doubt, man. It's so good.
But, Tate, I think this will be a good time to shut her down. But thank you again for spending your night on the podcast, and best of luck in the future, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right. See ya.
So how'd that sound?
Oh, fantastic. Hold on. I'm just going to stop recording. Okay, show's over. See you guys next week.